You are now listening to the Hot Take Hot Box.
Stop our show.
You are now listening to the Hot Take Hot Box. You are now listening to the Hot Take Hot Box.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is the Hot Take Hot Box. I do wish we were talking on better terms right now. The Eagles have lost 3 games in a row after starting out 10-1, going through a gauntlet to begin the season. Our beloved birds have fallen on hard times. Once again, this is the Hot Take Hot Box. The Eagles lose to the Seahawks last night. My name is Matt McSweeney. I am joined by Ty Capone. Ty, I know you probably haven't gotten a chance to listen to the radio around the Delaware Valley, but it is an absolute cesspool of panic and chaos, and I honestly do not blame them. How are you feeling about what happened last night?
Not very good. I'm also not feeling happy about this $30 candle I just bought. So I went to this bagel shop, got a breakfast sandwich. I was like, oh, I'll get this candle, $30. I was like, all right.
I don't know, man. Why are they overcharging you down at the coffee shop for a candle like that? $30. I don't know. The Bath and Body Works, they're running a little racket right now. Anytime that they have a deal, a sale, and the candles are $10, and people are just in there cleaning that place out, and I'm like, well, they must not be that expensive to make because they run those sales quite often. So
yeah,
look at
they
us.
also get rid of the shitty ones and not the good ones.
Yeah,
just so
look at us talking about candles here to start off the podcast, trying to do anything we can to deflect from what we got to talk about. So let's just get right into it. Eagles Seahawks last night, Monday night. There was a little bit of rumors, that Jalen wasn't going to play. He does play. He flies private by himself. He walks in with Big Dom. Shout out to Big Dom. Ever since I started the Win for Big Dom campaign, we have not won one game. So that campaign is not going well. And then the Eagles also, the other news going into the game was that Sean Desai has been relieved of his duties as the defensive play caller. I guess he's still the defensive coordinator, but he's not calling the defense. Ty, does that can you help that make sense for me, or what's going on? The duties were given to Matt Patricia. Yeah,
he's gonna draw out the plays. He's gonna come up with the plays, but he's not gonna call in which play. No, I don't know. I have no idea how that works. I guess he's just up in the booth now, and fucking off up there.
Yeah, good for him. They made sure to show him about 75 times last night, so I'm sure that made him feel incredible. But he probably didn't even know what was going on. So, and earlier in the week, Nick Sirianni saying, there's no chance that I make a change. I'm not going to make some snap decision like that. We're 10-3. We're fine. We're not going to really start panicking. And then later in the week, he's like, oh, yeah, like they asked him after the game last night. He's like, yeah, I made the decision during the week, somewhere in the week. Yeah, somebody told him to make that decision during the week. They said, listen, pal, something's got to change. The defense is getting cooked. Probably defensive guys are going to him and saying, Coach, this ain't it. Something's got to change. And, well, it did change. They go to Matt Patricia last night, and unfortunately it didn't make all that much of a difference. Although I would say, would you agree that the defense somewhat played a little bit better last night for at least the first half? I think we were a little bit more aggressive, drew up a couple more blitzes, but it's hard to really look for the positives in last night's game. But I felt like the defense, only giving up 20 points kind of held up their end of the bargain.
Yeah, for most of the game they were good, but then when we needed them, they gave up a 92-yard drive.
Yeah,
and that was it. That was pretty much it. It's funny. We needed some kind of cornerback to step up in Slay's absence, and a couple of the young ones did. I thought Keely Ringo was good.
Yeah.
I don't think Elias Ricks didn't play much. I thought he was good. He didn't really get thrown at. And same with Josh Jobe. He wasn't in there much, but it was just James Bradbury getting absolutely torched all game long. Yeah, he's just he's the also I don't know if you noticed Shaq Leonard, but he's
Yeah,
pretty cooked.
he's looking mighty
He's
cooked out there. I saw the one video that
he's
people were trying to say that he's like I don't know. I need to see more before but my right now my diagnosis is that man's cooked.
yeah, he's pretty cooked. On the one play where Sidney Brown had Kenneth Walker for like
Oh
a loss of
yeah.
6 and then let him get 15. Shaq Leonard was also kind of like right there and was just he's just many steps behind, and the game process is a little too quickly for him. I thought Nicholas Morrow was great. I thought Jalen Carter was awesome. I thought Jordan Davis was good. Nolan Smith, in a little bit he played before he got hurt somehow, was good. Fletch was looking good.
Yeah.
BG in the limited snaps. Outside of a couple of those guys, Byard I think was good, and like I said, Keely Ringo graded out as one of our best players last night. Other than that, I didn't really notice Josh Sweat at all. Hassan Reddick,
He had that
not
one
much.
big play in the backfield. That was it.
That was it.
Early in the game, he fucking got through and slammed Kenny Walker back for like a 5-yard loss, and he made sure to let you know who it was. He did the sweaty celebration for like 15 minutes after he did it.
Yeah, he wasn't sweat much last night. Blankenship had another bad game. Sidney Brown was terrible. He kept missing tackles. He wasn't there in coverage.
Yeah, he was.
He kept making mistakes. Yeah, those guys were really bad. And I think they were 4 or 5 on 3rd and 10 or longer. That just can't happen. That just absolutely cannot happen. So, yeah, I'm not.
All in all, though,
I'm not
Ty,
sure.
I mean, listen, I'm with you. You know, there was obviously they didn't play great. I'm not I guess my expectations are in the dumpster. So like anytime they do something that's like a little bit positive, I'm like, oh wow, like they, well, look what they did. But I mean, they had given up 13 points up until that final drive, and it obviously just came unglued and some incredible. I mean, DK made some great plays at the end of that game, but a lot of that was just due to the fact that Bradbury, like you made mention, a lot of the guys on this defense are just a step behind. Seems like all season long we lack youth throughout the entire defense, and it's showing more and more as the season goes along. Maybe these guys are breaking down, they're getting tired. I don't know what exactly it is, but it's pretty apparent that a lot of those guys, Darius, Shaq Leonard, some of the, the BGs of the world, he doesn't play enough to really warrant hate or where, all that, just even any sort of focus. Hassan Reddick, again, nowhere to be found. Nolan Smith almost crunched himself up trying to tackle Kenneth Walker last night. There's just really, like you said, like maybe the Keely Ringos and Eli Ricks played pretty good last night, so there were some positives. I still think Kevin Byard is okay. I think he's done an all right job, but like you said, other than that, it's really just been rough. I think we talked all this time about the defense so far. Really, where my anger and my just vitriol is pointed at the offense. Now, where would you like to begin with this hate? Because I have a lot of hate to be distributed throughout the entire team or throughout the entire offensive staff. I mean, now, Twitter has become a real big part of this team. We just lack leadership both within the team and within the coaching staff, and just like this team after that 49er game completely disintegrated and fell apart. It's almost like they believed in their own hype and the facade, and when they were getting pounded out by the San Francisco 49ers, it like broke their brains, and they were not able to like realize like, wow, like or they did realize we stink. We're actually not that good. We're not as good as we think we are. Like, can you help me make this make sense to me?
No, I don't think I can. I think you got to start with Jalen Hurts. I think Hurts had his probably worst game of the year.
He was horrible
this year. Yeah. It's funny, though, because, people keep saying, oh, well, we got to rest him. We should have played Mariota, or he's hurt, or he's sick. But he ran the ball well. So that wasn't an issue at all. Running the ball wasn't a problem. It was just throwing the ball. He wasn't on the same page with anybody, which is crazy. I mean, how many reps do him and AJ have together? And they weren't on the same page at all last night. The deep ball, he was, used to be one of the better deep ball throwers in the league. Yeah, I haven't really seen him do much with the deep ball this year. And last night he was pretty bad with it.
Yeah.
He kept underthrowing guys. Both interceptions were bad. I see people shitting on Quez Watkins for that. But that ball was underthrown. You gotta like, lead your guy. So, and then the AJ Brown one, he could never come back to that one. The other one on the bottom, on the left side, I guess he was going deep and he was like 15 yards underthrown on the third down.
Yeah.
He was just bad. He was just bad all game, really. I mean, nobody really got the only rhythm we really had was when we were running the ball with Swift, and even then we started to get very complacent. I don't remember. We were up 7-0. We could have made it 14-0 if we were doing, if we were running a competent red zone offense, and we was 3rd and 6, and we give it to Swift, and he gets 1 yard or back to the line of scrimmage. Such a just terrible play in a crucial moment. Really, we go up 10-0, cool, but it would be much better. We go up 14-0. So the play calling is still terrible. We just love screens. I don't understand what the obsession with screens are. I mean, if you want to space out like a screen each quarter, sure, but back to back to back. Eventually, people start to figure you out. Swift, we can't really get him going in the passing game anymore, so that's unfortunate. We start the game with Kenny Gainwell the entire time. I like mixing him in, but I don't understand the obsession with starting him on the first 2 drives and then not really even giving the ball much after that. What's the point of starting him? So that's confusing. The overall offensive game plan and playbook just seems not good.
No.
Not playoff level, not Super Bowl contender level anyway. So
I listen. We've been talking about this for a while now, and it seems like we're beating a dead horse at this point, but we're really not. The offense is so predictable. I mean, you see Christian McCaffrey's on the Manning cast last night. He's telling you what play they're going to run. He's like, oh yeah, they're going to look where the tight end is. They're going to pull the guard, and Jalen's going to try and run it up the middle. Literally, that exact thing happens because the Eagles are that predictable. They love running the bubble screen, and then they'll have Devontae Smith as the lead blocker. So, that really makes a lot of sense. You're running a tight end bubble screen, or a Julio Jones bubble screen, and that's the lead blocker that you want out there to try and really just clear the way for one of your big guys to get down the field. That makes absolutely no sense. Some of their play calls on 3rd down are horrible. They are they kind of they call plays and Jalen plays like this is Madden. Like he's always just trying to make a big play. Like there's no repercussions or consequences for throwing it deep. And listen, the ball to Quez was horrible. It was underthrown. It was a bad decision. Honestly, the worst decision was that unless you throw that ball all the way out there, Quez isn't fighting to come back to the ball. How many times has Quez Watkins let you down in a situation like that? How many times do we have to fall for it? Quez Watkins there was a couple of little clips that I saw of Quez like running routes like so half-ass and stopping like at the top of the route and not continuing it. It's you can't be confused. This is the kind of player he is. You can kind of blame Howie Roseman, but this is the offense or the defense that they've set up. The offense, I should say.
He can't get 30+ snaps a game. That just can't happen.
But they don't have a better option, right? I mean,
Zacchaeus doesn't get open. Julio Jones is a ghost. The tight end, dude, Grant Calcaterra got hurt again. I don't understand what's wrong with that guy. I feel bad. I feel like football is not the move for him anymore.
I don't know how he gets hurt because I rarely ever see him actually out there. I know he's out there. I just don't, like you said, how is he getting hurt over and over again? Maybe this sport isn't for him. I wouldn't be for me. My body would break down too. But listen,
bottom 4 NFL receivers, real quick, in yards per route run. Bottom 4 in the NFL, minimum 100 routes. Bottom 4 in yards per route run. Number 1 is Julio, 0.20. Number 2 is Randall Cobb, 0.24. Number 3 is Jalen Rager, 0.30. Number 4 is Quez Watkins, 0.33. We have 2 of the bottom 4. We used to have number 3 also. We just have, people talk about our offense and how it's high-powered and it has a lot of potential. And I think it's, for the most part, true. But I don't think that O-line's the best O-line in football anymore. I think it's Lane Johnson's taken some steps back. The interior last night got cooked. Jason Kelsey's the only one who played well. Suopeta stinks. He's not even a backup quality player in the league. I remember 2 years ago or last year, some Eagles fan, I think it might have been that Thomas Peterson feller. He was saying how we have the best backup O-lineman in the league in Suopeta. I'm like, bro, what? Like, that's not. How do you even know that? And then he started to play, and he got absolutely fried. And I'm like, well, there you go. That's why he doesn't play. Landon Dickerson was terrible. I'm sorry.
Okay.
So I think the O-line's taking a step back. We have two decent running backs here and there, right? One's good in the pass game, one's good in the run game. We have two good receivers. We have a good tight end. That's it. I guess it sounds weird to say that's it, but we don't have any depth behind these guys. So if one of the receivers has an off game, like if A.J. Brown's not getting open, if Devontae Smith's not getting open, or whatever the case may be, now you really are down another option. Now you have nobody. Now you have one receiver that you can rely on, and the OC's terrible. So now guys aren't getting schemed open. Now you're forcing them to play kind of 7-on-7 ball, and that's just not going to really work against the top teams in the league. Also, we were going against not one of the top teams in the league. This is a team that was on a 4-game losing streak. They didn't have Devin Witherspoon. They didn't have Jamal Adams. So
or the
fact that our offense or their quarterback.
Yeah.
Like they had many guys that were missing. And, the fact that we couldn't score any points against these guys, 17 points against Seattle. I understand another bad weather game. I feel like we can't get a nice sunny day lately. But, they just gave up 41 points to the Cowboys. They gave up like 60 points to the Niners in 2 games combined. They gave up like 40 to the Ravens earlier this year. Like, this is not a good team. This is not a good defense. And for us to barely crack 300 yards, I just, I don't know. We need much more from Hurts. And I just don't know if we're really going to get that. Like, what's the offense is not in rhythm. And, guys are upset. A.J. Brown's on Twitter quoting random guys' tweets and, freaking out, making threads, tweeting through it.
That's not good.
As they say. The defense, it's all ugly right now. People want to give the defense credit. Yeah, they played well for a good part of the game, but when we really needed them, dude, they got walked down by Drew Lock to lose the game. Like James Bradbury got cooked by a rookie. That 3rd and 10, they were 4 or 5. Like I said, 4 or 5 on 3rd and 10 or longer. The first one, Hassan Reddick was in coverage, getting beat by Tyler Lockett in the zone. How does that work? Why is that happening? What's Matt Patricia doing there? So a lot of things that make me scratch my head. My dad, half of the game, my dad's just confused at what we're doing. I'm like, I don't know either. I don't know why we're running another screen after we ran a screen that didn't work. It's all bad.
I'm telling you, I have a tough time being really mad at the defense when you only give up 20 points. Like I am with you because they ultimately they gave the game up at the very end because you needed them to just stand up one more time. But the problem I have is that you put them in that situation. You had multiple opportunities to put this game away, close this game out, and they could not do it. And I honestly, I want to put my focus on number 1, man. That's the guy for me that I am the most worried about, concerned about, and I'm a little confused because all last season I think he had 8 turnovers. For the whole year, and what's he at 17 now? I think is the number I saw last night. That is unbelievable, and it doesn't look like he's seeing the field at all. The way he was last year. Like maybe it's just been this little pocket because there were games against Washington, but what does that matter? Because Washington has one of the worst pass defenses in the league. Jalen has made mistake after mistake, has not seen the field well, has not really just taken what the defense given you. He's turned into this just hero ball kind of player, and he never really was that kind of guy. He always seemed like he was under control, disciplined, made the right decisions all the time. And it seems like the second he got that contract, it turned like I don't want to say this, but the instant my vibe I got right away was like, wow. Is the same thing happening that happened to Carson Wentz? Like, remember when we gave Carson Wentz that money and the guy just forgot how to play football? Like,
Yeah.
I don't think it's to that level. I'll never think it's that bad because Jalen Hurts is not a selfish prick like Carson Wentz was, because that seemed like the bigger issue than anything on the field. But I will say I'm worried, man. I'm really worried because I don't like. You used to be able to count. Listen, if the offense is getting cooked, it is what it is. He'll have same thing: 17 for 31, 143, no touchdowns, no picks. You wouldn't see those interceptions. Those interceptions killed them last night. I mean, they drive down the field at the end of that game. That he runs up, slides. They call timeout. What's there? 13 seconds left, and whether it's the play call or him, there has to be like a little bit of a conversation like, oh, your first read is A.J. Brown. That's fine. There's a safety playing center field over the top. You have to look across the middle of the field. If that's not there, take off. All we needed was like 15, 20 yards, and we're kicking a field goal to tie the game.
I couldn't believe that decision to throw deep like that. All we needed, like you said, was 20 yards, right?
Yeah, I think we were on our 45, and we needed maybe 10, 15 yards to, maybe he might have missed it, but it still would have given us the opportunity to kick that field goal.
Yeah, and he got 20 yards on the run on the scramble, so they gave us 23 yards. We had 2 timeouts, I think, for 12, 13 seconds.
Yeah.
I know, posting like still shots, it's kind of hard to really make an argument because football moves so quick, but he did have Kenny Gainwell right next to him with nobody near him on that little dump ball. He could have dumped it off and got 15, 20 yards. But he wasn't looking. He was just, like you said, locked in on A.J. Brown. He doesn't really he's not going through his progressions that well. He's not reading defenses that well. He needs to be better pre and post snap. He needs to make better decisions with the ball.
He doesn't seem comfortable throwing the ball over the middle of the field at all. Like everything is outside the numbers to the right or left. He's
not making really, how many times did we used to see him make plays off script, on the run or outside the pocket? He's not doing that at all. I remember the one time he was kind of running around this field on a third down, then he comes back and throws it short of the first down, and he wasn't even open. So it seems like guys aren't getting open. Guys aren't, like you said, with Quez Watkins, not really trying to run routes. For some reason, Jalen's not on the same page with some of these guys, which makes no sense because this season's almost over. And he's been playing with the same guys for a couple of years now. So I don't understand, what's going on. Really, Sirianni, isn't he supposed to be an offensive guy? Like, I feel like this is his offense.
Well, he's
this
part
is
of the
his
problem.
team. Yeah, absolutely. So he needs to figure it out. They all need to get together, figure it out, and that's pretty much it. I mean, they made it a change in the defensive staff, and it seemed to kind of work. So maybe they need to do the same thing on offense. I'm not really sure.
And he came out hard last night and was like, no, there's no way I'm going to do that. Kind of similar to the way he did last week. But the offense, that's the more concerning for me, is because he's supposed to be an offensive coach. We're supposed to have a $50 million a year quarterback. This guy's getting paid $250 million over 5 years. This shouldn't be happening. This should not be a problem. And through bad play calls, offensive court, whatever, Jalen's supposed to at some point throw the team on his back and maybe win us one of these games. This was the game that even the defense let you down, yada yada. You got to go out there and make a play to win this game. And maybe that's what he's thinking when he's throwing deep to A.J. Brown, but in no universe is that a good decision or a good throw in that situation at all. There's no way you're you're throwing into double coverage down the field with a safety that's coming all the way across the field who's going to have a perfect look at that. Unless you're throwing that ball way ahead of everybody, which is a bomb of a throw, then it's not a good decision. And it's probably not a good decision no matter what. So I have no faith in them at all. All of my faith is gone. They come out in the second half last night and just look lifeless. I mean, on defense, the Seahawks come down and drive right down their throats to essentially tie that game. It was a tie game, right? 10-10, and then we came back and scored. And then it was all Seahawks in the fourth quarter. And I don't know, Ty. I want to be all angry, a part of me was angry last night, But why should I be angry when these guys are all on Twitter just saying, well, I played good. What's the big deal? You got, like you said, A.J. Brown making threads saying, check my numbers. I'm good. Darius Slay's retweeting Travarius Ward saying took over another bird's nest, with an interception. Like, these guys, especially like a Darius Slay, they seem like they're just happy to be here. Happy to be in the NFL. It's just it's not really like life or death to them. It's all right. It's just a game at the end of the day. Like, and you can't have that mentality because these people that are paying for these tickets and rooting for this team, they don't accept that, and they're not going to identify with this team. Like, last year, I loved this Eagles team. This Eagles team this year is approaching territory where, like, one of my least favorite teams. They're in like Sixers territory. I know I like to use that as like the ultimate negative, but we're gonna have like apathy towards them because even if they go out and win these next 3 games, Ty, and they end up 13-4, are you gonna give a shit?
No, I already kind of don't give a shit. Yeah, I mean, listen, they drop one of the Giants, it's probably over. I mean, I don't know what else could change in this short time. The season's almost over. Like, it's almost time for that big game, and we haven't won that big game in a couple of weeks. I know we actually won a couple big games this year, but in very ugly fashion. And now, things aren't going our way. Turnover luck, penalty luck. Just the game itself, it's not going in our favor. Now we're getting banged up. Yeah, I don't know. I'm very hopeless.
How about last night though, when Drew Lock lands on the ground, throws the ball, his knees on the ground, throws the ball, and it's 4th and 2, and the Seahawks get up on the ball to run a play, and I'm in the bar screaming, like, why are we not throwing the fucking challenge flag? How is there not someone in his ear saying, hey, that guy was down 5 yards back? They won't go for it if they throw the fucking challenge flag. And he doesn't. Sirianni gets bailed out by Pete Carroll calling timeout. Yeah. And then Sirianni's on the sideline like, what are you, fucking stupid? Like, saying like, you're fucking stupid, dude. Sirianni, it's the spotlight is on him. The spotlight's on Jalen Hurts. Sirianni is kind of getting exposed because he has lost complete control of this locker room. You have people tweeting left and right. No one's accountable for anything that's happening. The offense sucks. The defense sucks. You have over the cap level talent, and you have talent on both sides of the ball, and your team has just completely folded down the stretch, man. So, listen, I don't want to start doing that, but the Sirianni, it's getting close to the hot seat territory. I know that's a little dramatic, but it's not really though. When you think of what the Eagles situation is and how they went to the Super Bowl last year, and they're not going to the Super Bowl this year, and they have also pretty much the same team, and it's more of just the way this is happening. I think it's not like, say they were to look all right, and the way they looked when they were 10-1, they finished 14-3, and they lose in the divisional round to the Cowboys or something like that, and you're like, well, I'm not happy about that, but it's just a rough year. We're gonna bounce back next year. They finish 11-6. I don't know. What are they probably gonna finish? Like 12-5. I mean, I have a feeling they're gonna drop one of these Giants games. I don't know whether it's here or in MetLife, but I just have such a negative opinion of them that if they get bumped in the first round, then really I think all bets are off. Let me just say that.
Yeah, I'm not. It's not looking good. It's not looking good for sure. And like you said, the stuff happening off the field just shows you that guys aren't buying in this year for whatever reason compared to previous years. We brought in a couple more veteran presences, which I didn't think we even needed, and that hasn't worked. That doesn't help. That doesn't mean anything. So I'm kind of I'm kind of confused at what we do from here. Honestly, we just gotta win out, I guess. I don't know what the easy solution is. Are we looking for Are we going to start doing mock drafts? Is it mock draft season?
Soon it will be, because I mean the Eagles are not going to go far in the playoffs as currently constructed, and I don't have it will not matter to me if they go out and blow the Giants out. Really, it won't. I mean that from the bottom of my heart. Like it'll be like, okay, maybe they're trending in the right direction, but I don't even have faith in that. You couldn't go out there and shut Drew Lock down on a game-winning drive. I mean, who tells you that your cousin Tommy DeVito can't go down there and do the same thing? I watched him do it against the Packers recently, so why couldn't he do it against us? Our defense stinks. Why couldn't he? That's like, I have just such a low opinion of this team, and just like Jalen after the game last night, it's like, oh, we're not committed. You know, a lot of these guys, you know, so we're not committed. Like, what does that even mean? What are you even trying to say there? Who's not committed? You're not committed to making the right decision. You're not committed to throwing the ball into the middle of the field. You're not committed to fucking throwing to the check down guy and letting Devontae Smith get caught up for 15 yards. Like, it's your fault, bro. You fumbled the Super Bowl away last year. We all kind of just let that go. And now you're just fumbling the fucking season away. So, there you go. Now you know what it's like to be in Philly, Jalen.
Yeah, you said it best. I couldn't really. I don't know what else I can even.
I'm fired up.
Getting gamed by a rookie who made a great catch when you have a guy that you just gave 3 years, 40 something million to.
Yeah,
20 million guaranteed. Yeah, not good. Not a good look. So, like I said, it was good to see Keely Ringo actually play well. Not getting flagged while giving up a 20-yard catch. So I'd like to see more of him. I'd like to see more of the young guys because James Bradbury is just not getting it done. He is multiple steps behind. There's multiple plays where he was just real quick, and he's cooked. He was with DK on that big catch on third down, that split between him and Sidney Brown. He was there, and then just one or two steps, he's not there. So turning 30 has really done a number on him. I'm sure it's going to do a number on me and my kidneys, but I'm not getting paid that much money a year. I wish I was. I am not. So he just needs to be better. I mean, dude, Nicholas Morrow is like carrying. He's been like the most consistent player on the defense.
He actually played well last night. Besides
Jalen Carter, on that third and one, he came and blew it up to force 4th and 2, and then Bradbury gets called for pass interference, which people were saying was a little soft, but he grabbed the hip and turned, which he used to his advantage. So it's really hard to call that a ticky-tack call, because that's all he does. Remember in the Super Bowl, he did the same thing, hand on the hip, slight turn. So he's been a handsy guy his whole career. And we really just miss Slay, which I hate because he's like you said, retweeting things, tweeting this, tweeting that off the field. And I did like how he just flamed up this guy Eric Weems.
Saw that.
Who is like a special teamer. I forgot all about him, and he said he's good, but not a difference maker, which is absolutely false because we just lost to the Seahawks. We don't lose to the Seahawks possibly with him in there. Very hard to tell, and you can't really it's hard to decipher how a game would go with him when it went without him. So anyway, but to see him say he ain't great, he's not a game changer, and then Slay said, coming from a dude that just comes in the block. Come on, brah. And that's good. That's a good one. I gotta say that's a good chirp. So we do miss him. He is a game changer. We need him out there. And arguably, I would argue maybe we can put Bradbury in the slot, to kind of help with Bradley Roby. I see Avonte Maddox is practicing, so that'd be good if we can get him back. But I'm sure he'll get hurt, as soon as he plays anyway. So I don't know.
Yeah. You see your boy AJ Brown. I did want to read that tweet too. There was a video, I think, of Devontae Smith kind of just coming underneath I think one of those third downs, and
he threw it to AJ.
And he threw it to AJ deep, and the one that we were talking about was like way short and was not a good throw. Some guy named Lord, shout out to Lord Brunson. I've seen him on Twitter before, but he said this shit burns me up because that buddy ball shit. It's okay for AJ to be a decoy on this play. Take the easy completion. Clearly isn't pounded into the philosophy of this offense, which is, I believe, like that. I literally just said that. Like they just all chunk plays, all superstar kind of hero ball, sort of. Let's just make the biggest play possible at all given times. It's not the answer, but they keep doing it. So AJ Brown fires back, quotes the tweet, doesn't even just reply. He quotes the tweet and says, "Y'all fans swear y'all know everything. It's a shot play to me. I'm the first read. He just missed the throw. Of course, of course we could have threw it to 6, I guess he's trying to just say DeMonte said, because it didn't work. But when the shit works, everyone is happy. Quit all that buddy ball shit. I am a decoy on many plays. Which I'm not sure what plays those are.
Yeah. I don't know how many of those plays. I mean, there's plays where he's blocking and there's a screen, and I'm like, why is he the lone blocker for a tight end screen going towards him? I know he's a big body receiver, but I'd rather have him running downhill towards the tight end. I don't know. I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm just a guy with the podcast. So, but yeah, him doing that is not great.
He wasn't done.
He wasn't done. What else we got?
And all that he forcing me the ball shit, too. He doesn't say shit. He says she. So I'm in his head bullshit. When I make plays, everyone happy. But when it's incomplete, I'm making him throw me the ball. I get blamed for more shit than anything. Tired of y'all playing with my character. And
there you go.
Listen, I would maybe have his back or agree with him if he wasn't the one throwing a bitch fit to begin the season on the second game of the season when we were winning. And he tries to claim that it wasn't about him getting the ball. It absolutely was about him not getting the ball. It's not good enough for AJ Brown for us to just win. We need to win, and he needs to do well. Don't act like that's not a part of this game. So,
can we talk about the staffer on the
apparently it's a player. I looked into this a little bit. It's a injured player of some sort. And
he looks like a punter. Is he a backup punter?
I don't know. Obscure white guy is what I saw. Literally what I saw.
Looks like a generic white guy. Him going out of his way to accidentally get in the way when we all knew what he was doing. After he pushed, after AJ gave a slight push to the corner, he comes out of nowhere, and just kind of gets in the way on accident to make it look like an accident, which we all know what he did. He just got right in AJ's way. AJ didn't see him, and obviously he kind of accidentally shoved AJ, which he did on purpose, and then AJ got in his face. People were like, "Oh, AJ should be thrown out." It's like, no, that guy should be thrown out if that's the precedent we're setting. But I just thought that was hilarious, and also much more aggressive, I guess, than anything Big Dom did. But what are you gonna do?
Well, I would like to see that guy banned from the sideline for the rest of the year. I think that's
or put him in the game.
Yeah, if he's not playing, he should not be allowed on the sideline. They set the precedent, not me. They went and said how bad Big Dom was, and how he did the worst thing ever. This guy was trying to do doing way worse than what Big Dom was doing. All Big Dom was doing was breaking up a scuffle. Like he was just trying to get his player up, and another guy was in his face, and all he did was kind of like, yo, back up, and he got a punch thrown at him. This little white guy is purposely trying to do that, like he's trying to take a charge on AJ Brown. And on the fucking sideline, that you can't let that happen. So I would like to see the league step in and ban that guy from the sideline. I think that's the only appropriate response after what they did earlier this season. So, Ty, I guess we should kind of just, we've talked enough about the Seahawks game and what the problems are. Maybe we should talk a little bit about the Eagles' next game, which is on Christmas Day against the Giants. They're always going to find a way to try to ruin your holidays. And here we are, a perfect opportunity to ruin Christmas dinner for everybody out there across the Delaware Valley and across the country. Do you listen? Me and you both were, even in spite of how bad they have played, had faith that they were going to win that game last night. And they let both of us down. Like we shit on them after that Cowboy game, and you were very confident saying, "Listen, the Seahawks are bad. We are going to win this game. We are going to take care of business." And they didn't. We were both just dumbfounded, and we were both wrong. So, do you have any confidence that they're going to beat the Giants? I know the Giants are another level of bad, but I don't feel confident at all. I don't feel good about I think they're gonna win, but would I bet money or do I feel confident? Not at all.
Yeah, they just lost 24-6 to the Saints in a game we needed them to win. And the week before they beat the Packers at home, so that was kind of crazy. I think they're pretty bad. They're banged up. Also, I know they're getting Darren Waller back, but Tommy DeVito's getting figured out. Their O-line's getting figured out. What are we going to be 10, 11 point favorites probably? So. Yeah, it's on Christmas Day, 4:30.
11 and a half.
Let's see. I think the game will be decided by how much of this game I will be able to watch. So let's see. 'Cause I think I'm working on Christmas Day. But the schedule's not out yet, so never mind. I think I'll be able to watch most of this game. However, yeah, I think they should win by like 20. 2 touchdowns, maybe. Will they? Probably not. Probably not. But they are at home. If they struggle at all early on, you know that crowd's going to be fired up because this is Christmas Day. If I show up on Christmas Day to watch you play football, you better put belts to asses. That's what you better do. So we will see. We will see if they do that. The link will be fired up in multiple ways. They might burn it down if we lose.
As they should.
But yeah, I think we should handle them. Who else plays on Christmas Day? I guess we're the second game. Raiders Chiefs.
Yeah, Ravens Niners is the night game, which is nice.
That is nice. That is really nice. Also, I like the Raiders Chiefs game, even though the Chiefs should probably roll. Division game is always tough, and I think did they lose them earlier this year? Maybe not. No, but the Chiefs has not been playing well lately either. So
yeah, and we kind of talked about how the Chiefs don't exactly have the most electric weapons in the world, but they still scheme guys open. And then Rashee Rice is catching balls with 10 yards of space around him, and what's the other MVS? Whenever he catches his one pass a game, there's I don't know.
All the tight ends,
all the running backs, Justin Watson,
Clyde Edwards-Helaire is mossing guys in the end zone. He's 5'7". It would be nice if one of our guys could do some shit like that, but
so we're gonna. You have confidence. You think they win. You think they cover.
Yes.
I don't. I want to believe. I want to say that they win, but I mean, they do win. I just don't know if they cover. I think this game might be a little bit closer than it should be because I think our offense is horrible. I really think that's the big issue here. It's not that I think the defense will hold up its end of the bargain because it's Tommy DeVito and is Saquon Barkley going to be able to run the ball on us? Is he?
No, but maybe chunk plays. But probably not.
I know that the Saints shut them down, but I just don't know. I have that just goes to show you the lack of faith that I have in this team now. I have no respect for them. They don't respect me. So why in God's name, or honestly anybody in the NFL doesn't even respect me. The Eagles have been getting dog walked across all the national media and all that stuff, and it's honestly rightfully so. It's been embarrassing, but I guess my official points prediction would be 27-16. There you go.
Okay, I'm gonna say 28-14.
And let's just hope that it goes our way. I have Ty. It's been a while since I've had this sort of apathy towards a team. Eagles related. I think. Maybe one of the worst I've ever had was when Chip Kelly's last year as the head coach. I was rooting for them to lose at the end of the season, and I'd never done that as an Eagles fan. The
worst part. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
Keep going.
No. It was the same thing.
The worst part is going to be the people that are you know what? When we're winning the Super Bowl, I don't want you guys to say, you're fans, and those kind of people that are coming out here and trying to be the, don't jump off the wagon yet. I'm a real Eagles fan, and I know that we're going to get this right. I want to strangle all those people with my bare hands. I just want to say that because I see a lot of that on social media.
I couldn't agree more. I hate those kind of people because that they're in a win-win situation. If the Eagles turn it around, then they can say, "Yeah, look, I always believed in them. I was right."
Yeah.
And then when they lose, and we're all like, "Oh, I thought you told us," and they're like, "Oh, sorry, didn't know it was wrong to be a fan. I just love my team." Okay, pal. Yeah. We're all fans, but people like me, you, lots of other people out there like to look at the team from a somewhat we're biased, but we kind of like to just analyze what we're seeing and kind of just realize, wow, we stink right now. We are bad. Yeah. I love the Eagles, dude. We all do. They've made us cry many a times. They've both happy tears and. Definitely, when I was a wee lad, they made me cry multiple times, losing their NFC championship after NFC championship after NFC championship. So they've broken my heart plenty of times. I believe in these guys, but I don't believe in this team. All right, I'll just go out and say that. Hopefully, you can clip that off and say, "Wow, McSweeney is a moron." Sure hope so. Really hope you guys are all right.
Real McMoron.
Yeah. The sky's not falling, right? Yeah. No, we'll get this right. Sure, we will. And that's the thing that's going to piss me off is because all these people are going to come out after we win these next 3 games and go, look, we're we won the division. We're still back. In good shape. We're back. We're going to win that game against I don't know who we would play, the Lions or somebody.
Bucks, maybe, or somebody.
Like we would play like the Bucks in the first round, and then we would play like who in the second round? I think it would be the Lions.
Niners or Lions, yeah.
Yeah, I think it would be the Lions because what would it be? It would be I think the Bucks would play the Cowboys because they would be a 4-5 because the Bucks would be a division winner. Is that in this theory? I think, and then it would be us versus the 7 seed, which would probably be like the Vikings or like a bad team, which I still wouldn't even feel good about. Truly, I mean, we just lost to the Seahawks. Maybe the Seahawks come here later on. We haven't beat the Seahawks since 2008.
Oh, wait.
Pete Carroll is 8-0 against us. I feel like I was watching a Notre Dame game last night. They just found a way to lose.
Pete Carroll's not a good coach in his current form. I don't care what anybody says. He doesn't go for it on fourth and anything anywhere. He did a couple times against us, but he knew we were child's play, if you will. So we got to beat that guy. I don't know what's going on.
So I could keep going. I was just about to go back into another Sirianni diatribe, but I'm not. I'm done. I'm done with the Eagles right now.
Good word.
We will keep it moving. You like that? It's not demarcation, but it's it's pretty good. How about
pretty hot?
I guess. Oh, all right. Don't get me worked up. How about the Phils? The only thing I could kind of get some sort of positivity out of right now is the Phillies are somewhat connected to my boy Yoshinobu Yamamoto. He was FaceTiming Bryce Harper during the meeting. They went and met with his representatives. The rumors are that the Phillies are not going to be the highest bidder, but they are aggressively pursuing him. So I don't exactly know how to take that. I don't know how much money this guy's going to get. I saw a contract that was in the neighborhood of like 10 years, $300 million, which I'm not so sure that he would. I think we talked about this in a previous episode, but I don't think that it would be really smart for him to do a deal that long. I mean, maybe if he wants just the guaranteed money and not have to worry about it, but he's only 25 years old. If he did a 5 or 6 year deal, became a free agent at 31, I think he could cash in again for an even bigger deal that would give him another 6 years and maybe, getting paid $35-40 million a year, right? So that was kind of my thought process when that was happening. But it seems like the organization met with the right-hander last week, had Bryce Harper get involved in the FaceTime call, and as concrete contract offers begin to pour in, Alex Coffey reported that the Phillies intend to stay aggressive in the pursuit of one of the free agent class's top arms. So, I mean, obviously you're going to be fighting off teams like the Yankees and the Dodgers as well apparently are involved.
Mets,
everyone. It seems like everyone in the majors is going to be involved in this kid's trying to get this kid's services. But I guess it's all going to depend on where does he want to go. It would make sense, honestly. It seems like the Dodgers would make the most logical sense with them getting Ohtani and, those guys. He wanted to play with a Japanese player, I think was one of the things I heard earlier in the offseason. But, maybe the Dodgers don't want it. Maybe the price gets too high where they're like, I don't really want to go in on that again, because, I mean,
bullshit.
They did just spend a lot of money, Ty.
Horse shit.
But it is deferred. Maybe they'll just defer everything just until the old kick the can down the road in the NFL, and then eventually you got to pay the piper. But
gave Glass now a bunch of money too.
They did. That's what I'm saying. Like I don't know how interested they might be. The Yankees, of course, are always a possibility, but maybe we could talk to them and be like, "Hey, New York is a shithole. They haven't won anything, and we are the better team." So, what do you think about this? I think you're not going to be as confident or happy about my Phillies being involved in this.
Well, I'd rather get them than the Mets or Yankees. People keep talking about, well, the Yankees have a long tradition of Asian players, and so do the Mets. And I'm like, well, so do the Dodgers. The Dodgers have so many Asian pitchers over the course of their existence, really. And now they have Ohtani, the biggest Asian player ever,
Yeah,
right? I mean,
literally.
you got to imagine one of the biggest players, baseball players ever, at least aura.
Aura.
So yeah, I feel like we should be right there in the thick of it. We've had a bunch of Takashi Saito. We had Yu Darvish. We had Maeda, Hiroki Kuroda, Kaz Ishii. I remember him. He was a OG one back in the day, and he was good too. So like, Chan-Ho Park also, that was one of the biggest South Korean players, at least at that time. So also I remember he got in a fight with somebody. I forget who it was, but we need pitching. We need pitching badly. So Kershaw's still deciding if he wants to what he wants to do. I don't think anybody really cares. We're just like, all right, old man, if you'll come back for one more, I guess we'll have you for in the bullpen or a long relief. But multiple of our pitchers are coming back from Tommy John or still battling back from it or have to get it. Julio Urias, not sure what's going on with him. Trevor Bauer, I don't think is leaving Japan. I think he's still going to stay over there for one more year, it seems. Also, next year, I think, is when the big fish, Roki Sasaki, is going to be posted and coming over. I think he's going to be probably get more money than Yoshi. I would assume he's younger and I think he's better. So that's going to be righty, Roki Sasaki. He pitches just like Ohtani. They throw that it's crazy, but he's the big fish. Either next year or in 2 years. I think he's 22 or 23 right now. So I think whoever doesn't get Yoshi should look ahead to the future and try to get Roki, because either way, I want all of them though. If I'm the Dodgers, I want every single one. There's another guy, Imanaga, or something like that. He's pretty decent. Sign me up. I want all of them because right now we have a bunch of guys who are like semi-injured or injured. So that's where I'm at.
Yeah, the Phillies, apparently, according to Ken Rosenthal, that's if they don't end up with Yamamoto, could turn their attention to fellow Japanese left-hander Shota Umaga, a 30-year-old who posted a 2.66 ERA with 10.6 strikeouts per 9 rate for Yokohama. I know you were locked in on Yokohama this year.
I was there.
The reliever from the Orioles is another guy they're looking at, Shintaro Fujinami, which I'm not. All that.
He had like an ERA of 8.
Yeah, like he was getting cooked at the end of the year. I'm okay with that. The Phillies have never really gotten into the Asian Japanese market. Like for as long as I've been a fan of them, I think it's kind of how it's always been. They've never really
international in general. They really
like any of the big time names. Like they obviously go out and they get the Johan Rojas, Carlos. Like they do get some of the lower end guys, but they sign them when they're like 15 and hope that they turn into, stud players. Yeah, exactly. Like I would like them to go out and get a certified stud, like a 25-year-old Yoshinobu, and just, actually just put the money into something like that instead of hoping that somebody turns into something.
Remember they gave $18 million to that one guy and then he died. So.
I don't. Who the fuck is that?
The Cuban pitcher.
Oh,
they were going to give
right.
him $40 million, and then they gave him 18 because his arm was fucked up, and then he died a couple years later.
Rest in peace, dude.
R.I.P.
Yeah.
Also forget his name. So
it looks like Rhys Hoskins is going to end up going somewhere else as well. I see in the Cubs and the Mariners as possible landing spots for him. But there you go.
Good. Treat him somewhere he'll be deserved and welcomed.
Yeah, I'm good on all that. If it's not us, I really would like Yamamoto to go to the Yankees so that we don't have to. I think I'm worried. I'm starting to get worried about your Dodgers. Your Dodgers are starting to load up a little bit here.
That's all right. Come on, you can afford to let him come here.
What do you think about Glasnow though? That's a lot of money for Glasnow, dude.
I think he's coming off of a season high innings. I think he's had a bunch of weird seasons. I think he's had some bad luck. Right. I think he was doing really well. He was looking to pitch. Stay healthy all of the COVID shortened year, but since it was short, he wasn't able to pitch that long. So I feel like the times he has been healthy, there's been like a caveat. Like last year, it was like, oh well, it's his first healthy year ever. Before it was the COVID year, and then he's had a couple years from injury. He missed 2 years from John. But also, I have a weird suspicion that Tampa Bay, the Rays, I don't know what they do or what they don't do, but they have a lot of pitchers with arm issues. They had like 4 or 5 guys last year who had to get Tommy John alone. I think Jeff Springs, Drew Rasmussen, Shane McClanahan. So pretty much all of their pitchers that they've traded for, developed, drafted, signed, whatever, have had to go through some kind of major arm or elbow or shoulder surgery. I feel like there might be something to that. So it'll be interesting to see how Glasnow does in a different organization that has, preaches much more different things and has a different philosophy on and off the field to maybe help him. And now he's like, I think 28, 29. So he's, should be in the physical peak and his prime of his career. And 4 years, 110 is pretty much what we gave him, extending on to the 1 year he had left on his deal. So I feel like, it might be a lot of money, and maybe he keeps getting injured and it looks like a terrible deal, but it's only a couple years. So I'm thinking, what's the worst that can happen? He's going to give us a couple solid years and then a couple bad years, and then we get rid of him, so. Yeah. But I think the potential is through the roof. I think he can definitely, be like a 4 or 5 win pitcher, not, wins above replacement, that is. And as long as he stays healthy, which, with any pitcher is kind of the big concern, right? All pitching in general, and when you throw hard and you, have a bunch of different pitches that you also throw hard, your arm's going to get fucked up. So I don't want to baby any of these guys. I mean, look at the Phillies' top prospects. They're 18, 19, 20, and they're getting Tommy John. So it's just something that happens.
Part of the game. I'm seeing stuff that Corbin Burns might get traded.
Dylan Cease is also.
Yeah, so, I mean, that's something. I think the Phillies, from a Phillies centered standpoint, need to get a starting pitcher. I don't know who. I don't know how good, but it needs to be somebody that you're going to be able to throw down the stretch and in the playoffs, because you went out, you spent good money on a Taijuan Walker last year, and you couldn't even use him in the playoffs. So I don't know if you had to move on from him or if you have to, what you got to do, but you have to get somebody in here that you can throw in the playoffs and somebody you can count on, because you have 2 solid starters. You need one more ace-like pitcher that you can count on, and that is really, I think, the whole, other than maybe there's a couple bullpen arms that they could use. There's still Josh Hader out there who, that shoe's going to drop at some point. I don't know where he ends up. The Rangers, obviously the Dodgers, all the big players are always going to be, included on a name like that. But, yeah, I just, the Phillies we need one more. We need a move. It's been a cold stove this offseason for my Philadelphia Phillies. And you're over there in the Dodgers. They had the smoke detectors been going off the entire offseason. It's been.
I want more.
As you should. Like we said, though. We said a couple episodes ago. You come up short twice in the playoffs. You don't accept that. You go, you know what? We got to do more. We have to get more. We have to get better players. And that's what they're going out and doing. They went out and got the best player in baseball. So the Phillies
haven't done shit.
Yeah,
so
exactly. The Phillies have to do something, because what they have now is not acceptable. It's not gonna
do it.
It's not gonna do it. So there you go. Go out and do it. So that is the Phillies. That is baseball. That is somewhat the sports world. But we do have some boxing this weekend, Ty.
Oh yeah, is that the intro to boxing? I wasn't sure. I thought I was leading you in. I wasn't sure if you wanted to.
No, I was gonna say something, but then I thought you had a breaking news alert, so I kind of just let that roll.
No, I don't know why I quite did that. It kind of just happened. I guess no, I don't really have any breaking news. Unless maybe there has to be some kind of fight break news, right?
I sure hope so. Jake Paul is partnering with USA Boxing. For whatever that
Dana
is.
White has scheduled a fight with Daniel Cormier. Wow, all right.
All right.
Val Woodburn is actually coming back and fighting again. He was the poor fuck that fought Bo Nickel.
Yeah.
He's fighting Oban Elliott, that guy from the Contender Series. You know that guy, the guy with the face. No, but yeah, so we have a big event this weekend. Anthony Joshua taking on Otto Wallin.
The Day of Reckoning.
The day... Is that what they're calling it?
Yeah.
I don't know who's getting reckoned, but
Riyadh Sezin.
Yeah. I guess so. This is going to obviously set up Joshua and Wilder, so you want to have them on the same card, sure. But it's actually a pretty good card. Like Dimitri Bivol is back. I don't think. When's the last time we even see Bivol or saw Bivol? I think it was the fight after Canelo. Gilberto Ramirez. So it's been a year since he's fought. And ring rust is definitely a thing in boxing. It seems like. You want to get in there and get some rounds in. So he's fighting Lyndon Arthur, a British fella, King Arthur. I think he only has one loss, but it was to Anthony Yardy a couple of years ago. He's just okay. He doesn't really have any good wins. He did beat Yardy before that, but yeah, I think it's just kind of like a get right fight for Bivol, and then we'll see who. I mean, dude, honestly, Bivol Beterbiev is definitely something that the Riyadh Citizen matchmakers want to do, right? That's what they want.
His Excellency would love to see that fight.
His Excellency, I can't even say His Excellency, Sir Excellence would probably cream his pants over a nice Bivol Beterbiev fight. I think I would too. That would be an absolute war between two just Russian monsters. So Jarrell Big Baby Miller, still undefeated technically, is on this card against Daniel Dubois. Philip Hergovich, I think, is going to take one of these, is going to be a champion eventually, just because these sanctioning bodies are just completely crooked. He is going to be fighting on this card. And our boy, your boy, Arslanbek Makhmudov is going to be on this card. He is a scary, large human being. And he's taken on, I don't really know, Ajit Kabayal. I guess he's German. So there's that. Yeah, I mean, he's undefeated. He's 23. Somebody's O has to go. So
hell yeah.
It's probably this poor fucker from Germany. Junior Fa Frank Sanchez. That's actually an interesting fight. Frank Sanchez, the undefeated Cuban. His nickname is the Cuban Flash. 31 years old. Not really living up to the hype that they thought, but he's still around. He's still a name, a face. Pretty much just an all-heavyweight card is what we're doing here. But Anthony Joshua, Otto Wallin in the main event. Deontay Wilder, Joseph Parker in the co-main event. Let's see if I have these odds all in front of me. They should be out.
Minus
so
800 for Deontay Wilder. Minus 450 for Anthony Joshua, which is a little. That's kind of the closest odds of any of the fights.
Yeah, that's not even that bad, honestly. Now, you want to think that both of these guys are on their P's and Q's, right? Anthony Joshua isn't being weird. If there's like a press conference the week of and he starts screaming at Otto Wallin, which he did a couple weeks ago, he started trying to talk trash to Otto Wallin. Otto Wallin's like, what? I'm just this fucking Swedish guy. I'm not trying to talk shit, you know?
He's like, bro, why are you yelling at me?
Who the fuck are you talking? What do you say fuck me for? You know what I do? But he lost. Obviously, he's notable for his loss to Tyson Fury back in 2019. I can't believe it was that long ago. But he actually put up a really good fight. Made Tyson Fury bleed.
Yep.
A little bit, and since then he's rattled off, I think, 6 in a row. Hasn't really, he was supposed to fight Dillian White. He was supposed to fight Lucas Brown. A couple cancellations here and there. Took on Murat Gassiev, beat him by split decision in the last fight. Murat Gassiev, not the best. He once went the distance with Alexander Usyk, but he doesn't really have any good wins. So that wasn't the best to see from Otto Wallin. That's why I think, and he's also pretty much all of his wins since the Fury fight have been by decision. I don't think he's going to win a decision against Anthony Joshua. I mean, he can definitely make it ugly, make it awkward in there. I mean, fighting Anthony Joshua, honestly, what you want to do is just get in his head because he's very mentally weak at this point in his career. I'm not sure after that Klitschko fight. I don't know what the fuck happened to him, but I think he just got too famous too early, honestly, is what the problem was. But I think he just has to get in his head, try to bully him and dirty box. Other than that, I think Joshua should win. Same with Deontay Wilder. Joseph Parker's tough, but he's kind of older. He's actually only 31. It's kind of crazy, but he's been in a lot of wars. The Joe Joyce fights, I think he only fought him once. That was brutal, and he's won 3 fights since then. But I don't even know who any of these guys are. Simon Keane, I thought he was a soccer player. So he fought Chisora twice, 2 tough fights. Junior Fa beat him. Yeah, I just think Joseph Parker's a name, a face, kind of like a tune-up, right? These are both ideally tune-up fights, so they can both fight each other in I think May. So. What do you think? What do you think we're going to see from AJ and Deontay?
I never have been a fan of AJ. It's not. I just think he is, for a boxer, when he gets hit, man, his body does not respond well. And on a few occasions, I've seen him rocked, and he sometimes recovers, sometimes doesn't. I mean, you knocking out Robert Helenius is not not that impressive to me, just because
that guy.
I mean, a strong gust of wind comes through and he's seizing on the ground. So it's
shout out to Bryce Mitchell.
Shout out to Bryce Mitchell. He's shaking. So at least we will have to see that this weekend. Hopefully, I think you will get to see a few kind of highlight reel-esque knockouts. Deontay Wilder, always been a favorite of mine. Just the way he comes in, does not fuck around at all, and I think he eventually catches Mr. Joseph Parker and puts him out. I don't know if I'm too off on that. I'm obviously not the boxing expert that you are, but I do like the UFC element to this, where it's like a loaded card with names on it that you all from top to bottom. You can pretty much for me, even as like a casual, I'm like, oh wow, that guy's fighting like B-Vol is like the feature,
Crazy.
That's pretty insane, and a lot of these guys are going to win. A lot of them are favorites, but Jarrell Miller, I think, is an underdog in that one. In that
slight underdog, not Daniel Dubois is only minus 300, and for boxing odds, you think that's not too crazy. Daniel Dubois is 26. He's coming off a loss to Usyk in a tough one. I think that was only a couple months ago too. So yeah, 4 months ago, a 9-round affair. I feel like it's a quick turnaround. Jarrell Big Baby Miller, 35. He's failed, I don't know, 637 drug tests, I think, in his life. He hasn't been clean in 595 days, something like that. So he's coming off a win earlier this year against Lucas Brown. Beat the shit out of Lucas Brown, but Lucas Brown's kind of cooked. Should I say kind of cooked? He's pretty much cooked. He's 44 years old. Yeah. Big Daddy Lucas Brown. He's steamed, he's fried, and he's done. They went 6 rounds, and Jerome Miller's a shit talker, and he's somebody that's trying to get into the picture, but I don't think that's going to work. He probably – who's to say he won't fail a drug test from here between now and the fight, So we'll see if he can make it.
I don't think they're really testing over there in Riyadh.
That's probably
I don't think there's many rules. I can't wait to see the musical entertainment aspect of it. Who are we going to have come over right before Christmas? So, I don't know. Options might be a little limited.
Michael Bublé?
Maybe Dua Lipa, I don't know. That would be nice. But honestly, I will make sure that I'm tuned in for Arslanbek Makhmudov. Like that, I love that guy. I really do. Yeah. The Russian Canelo does not fuck around at all. He tries to murder people. What was the last time I saw him fight? Was that
It was just a couple months ago
Junior
when he fought
Anthony Wright. I don't even know.
2 months ago, yeah.
He killed
Junior Anthony Wright
guy.
was decent. Yeah.
He walked through that guy like he was just a regular dude, and
which he might have been.
He might have been. I just love the give no fucks aspect of some of these guys, and I just like how loaded this card is. So I actually will be enjoying this on Saturday.
So it starts at 1 p.m., which is very early, but it is what it is. I'm not sure when this main event will start, but I assume it might be like they're going to push that bitch back 7.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're gonna have a great time with their pacing. I know they're gonna show a bunch of like highlights that nobody wants to see and random shit that nobody cares about. Make sure you come visit Saudi Arabia. We're not, we're nice people. So
I'm okay. But thank you.
I'm good. Me and Matt are actually on the no-fly list towards any flights going to Riyadh.
Yeah,
so,
I don't care what's going on. I'm not going. Yeah,
unfortunately, we can't go. I'm sorry. We have things to do. We won't be there. But send us a postcard. Hopefully.
What is this going to be on?
I believe.
I mean, you can probably watch this on every streaming service possible because every promotion is involved in this. This is Matchroom, just because.
So it's Matchroom and Queensberry. Matchroom is where AJ is with Eddie Hearn. Queensberry Promotions is, I think, where Parker and some of these other guys like Dubois, maybe Arslanbek and Frank Sanchez, Junior Fa. I think Queensberry is Frank Warren and some of the other Brits. Top Rank's involved. I think they have either Valine or Wilder, maybe both. They're all involved, though. I see like 500 different promotions are involved. So that's
there's a lot going on here.
Everybody's getting a piece of the pie, I guess. It's a big pie.
It should be fun, ladies and gentlemen. I'm looking forward to it. And
I don't know where we can watch it though. Let's see who is streaming. Is it DAZN maybe? Like I feel like DAZN has to be the provider here. I think it is. DAZN. It would only make sense. Yeah, it is DAZN. Okay, so Ring Walk's main event Ring Walk is 6:45 Eastern time approximately. So I think that'll probably end up being like 7:50. Yeah. So midnight. All right, that sounds good. But yeah, if you're in Argentina, Chile, or Colombia, you must download the DAZN app. So I'm sorry.
Good luck to everyone out there trying to find this fight. Best of luck on Saturday. Enjoy your holidays, ladies and gentlemen, if we don't hear from you. or you don't hear from us, you can always reach out in the comments. Wish us a Merry Christmas. This is us wishing you a happy holidays and a Merry Christmas to all as the Merry Bells keep ringing. Happy holidays. All right, that's all you're getting out of me. But this has been the Hot Take Hotbox. My name is Matt McSweeney.
I'm Ty Capone.
And ladies and gentlemen, as always, have a holly jolly Christmas. It is the best time of the year.